and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we'll be taking a look at the Lance and Shiro action figures from the Voltron Legendary Defender line from Playmates Toys. Previously I reviewed Keith, now I have Lance and Shiro here. Those are the only three Voltron Paladins that are available right now. It does show all five of them here on the back, but from what I can tell, Hunk and Pidge are not really out yet. I think this is the same Sword Attack Voltron from before. I think from here and this entire second line was like the first wave, and those are all out already. And this figure is out, but I have no interest in getting that one. And then these three are out, and Pidge and Hunk just kind of haven't been released yet. I don't know if it's going to be like a case refresh later on, or maybe there'll be some other figures. I would love like a Hagar or a Lotor or a Zarkon. You know, maybe do some villain figures and then release those two as part of that like third wave. That would be cool. Only time will tell, I guess. But so here we have a little bit of a bio for Shiro. Pilot, Black Lion, primary attack, robotic arm. Quote, everyone, eyes front. We've got a plan. We're going to jump to the heart of the enemy, unseen and undetected. Well, there you go. And then it has a little bio here. If you'd like to give that a read, feel free to pause the video. This is a little bit old. Spoiler alert. I think we're through season 4.1, or did they just call that season 4? I don't know. The fourth season was really short, and I think they were going to call it season 4 part 1, and then they were going to call the next one 4.2, but I think they gave up on that, and now they're just calling the next one 5. But I think that comes in March, so I like how they're really kind of, you know, giving you a nice chunk of episode every couple of months to keep you engaged. It's a nice way of doing it. But anyway, spoiler alert, if you're not current on the show, he doesn't really pilot the Black Lion anymore. He kind of stays on the ship and is their commander. I think it's kind of funny because he has the black uniform just like Sven did, and in the original anime, Sven left like halfway through. Left. But, sorry, it's once again, it's the black suit curse, apparently. If you have the black paladin suit, you will eventually be kicked off the show. Here's Lance. He's in the blue. He has now swiveled around as well to the red lion. He no longer commands the blue lion, so they kind of aligned them per the original cartoon / anime, which is kind of interesting. So he doesn't technically pilot the blue lion anymore, but he does use the blaster. Let me guess, the blue lion takes the most handsome beast pilot of the bunch. That's pretty funny. Oh, Lance. But yeah. So, with the exception of these being newer figures and the bios not being updated, pretty standard packaging. So let's go ahead, we'll get both of these guys out of said packaging, and we'll take a closer look. Alright, so here are these two guys out of the packaging. And I have to say, right off the bat, I think they're both a little better than Keith. Take a look at Lance first. You can see it a little bit, and I'll try to get a little bit closer. You can see the blue, like this must be like a blue peg from the arm. That's how it's assembled. And you can see it's bleeding through the white arm plastic a little bit, but not as bad as Keith's red did. Keith's red really made it look like the paint was smeared on the outside. But I do now really do think it was just the red plastic underneath the white just kind of showing through just because of how much darker it was. I like Lance's goofy expression. I think they did a decent job with that. Head is actually on a ball joint, which is pretty cool. Swivel here in the shoulder, plus a rotation. You have 90 degrees in the elbow, plus that can swivel from side to side. And then you have this kind of wrist rotation at the kind of cuff here. The legs are still a little weird. They're not as bad. But they still feel like they're a little detached from the body, like it's just too wide. But you do have a front about that much. You can't really go back that far because of the butt skirt. This can flip to the side, so I guess you could technically have him kick weird like that to the side. You can do like a Da Vinci's drawing of man kind of situation going on there. Anyway, so I don't know. The hips are still a little weird to me, but they're not terrible. You have a swivel here in the knee from side to side, as well as, of course, 90 degrees. And then the feet are one solid piece. So, I don't know. Maybe, again, I'm just biased because he's blue, and blue is my favorite color. You got a lot of nice paint here on the back. Very cool. He does have his helmet, of course, which is a softer plastic, so you can pop it down over his head. It does stretch a little bit, but it looks good. I think they got that to work again. Nice paint on there. And then, of course, he has his blaster, which I will go ahead and try to get into one of his fists. It's a little big for his hand as far as it being closed, and the handle is just really big. I mean, look how wide that handle is. I feel like it does not really need to be that wide, but what are you going to do? Maybe it'll fit in this hand a little bit easier. I can't remember on the show. Is he left-handed? I feel like he's probably not, but maybe he is. It's been a while since I've seen it. So anyway, you can kind of get it in there. And I mean, he looks good once he is holding it. And then, of course, he comes with a giant shield. Same as Keith. They all come with these giant shields. But this is even bigger. So to try to get him to hold this is also a pain. But there you go. So, you know, the shields are okay. I really do like the helmets. I think they did a great job with that. The soft plastic so it can fit on his head easily. Works well. And I do like the gun accessory. It's just a little bit difficult to get him to hold it. I could do without the shields. I still think it's weird that, you know, there's literally a giant hole in the shield right where you would hold it with your hand. So an enemy could shoot through the shield and hit your hand, and then you're going to drop the shield. So what's the point of the shield? I don't know. It's weird. It makes no sense to me. I said that with Keith's, and I still say it with this one. So again, same shield. I'm just going to put that off to the side. I don't care. Now, I feel like Shiro looks better. And I don't know exactly what it is. He's, as far as I can tell, he's got all the same kind of paint apps and everything going around. Oops. Oh, he dropped his gun immediately. He falls down once, and immediately the gun comes out of his hand. That's not good. That's not going to be good in a fight. Anyway, I don't know what it is. I feel like his legs fit a little bit better, like with his hips. They don't seem so weird and out of place, like where his kind of felt a little popped out. His kind of feel more like streamlined. Does that make sense? Like a normal human looks. So I'm wondering if this is from a new production. And I say that only because the hip problem seems to be taken care of. And when I took these both out of the packaging, both Lance and Keith had about 400 little twist ties. But Shiro only had one around his waist. So I'm wondering if this is like a second production run and they fixed a couple problems, because this really looks better in the hips. And then they decided, hey, everyone's tired of those stupid twist ties. But in either case, I think he looks good. It's got all the same articulation points. Now, with the arm, you can see his articulation point is higher than the cuff. Like on this one, it's at the cuff. But on this one, it's a little bit higher up. Now, the reason for this is you can actually pop this whole thing off, and you can change it out with this other fist that he comes with, because on the show, his hand glows because he has an artificial arm. So his hand glows, so he's ready to use that as a weapon. I don't know. To me, it just looks a little weird. I don't know why. It does. I mean, I know exactly what they were going for, and, you know, they executed it as best as they could, I think. I don't think it's a problem with the execution. I think it's just, it looks weird to me to just have that one hand. And plus, it kind of looks fake because it's so stiff. I don't know. It's weird. But it's all right, you know. I appreciate that they made the effort to include that, since he doesn't really have a Bayon. And they're easy enough to switch on and off, so I do appreciate that. And it's all the same articulation, ball joint, all the same joints. And then you can go ahead and put his helmet on. It looks a little goofy on his head, I will say. The helmet on him looks a little strange, but it's not terrible. So yeah, I think they're both pretty good. I just happen to have Keith handy, so I will bring him in. You know, he looks pretty good too. I feel like maybe it's because these guys are a little bit slimmer that the hip thing can't work out as well. Although really, yeah, his waist is a little bit wider, but I just feel like they must have corrected the legs on this one. It just looks so much more normal on Shiro than it does on these other two. We'll go ahead and put Keith's helmet on. So pretty cool. You got 3 Paladins of the Voltron Force here. Really wish we had the other 2. I really do like these 3, but you gotta have a complete team, and I really need Pidge and Hunk. I mean, come on. Gotta have them. So yeah, I think these 2 are an excellent addition. I think Keith is okay, but I think these 2 are even better than Keith. So if you're picking and choosing, obviously you're going to kind of just either get your favorite or decide which one you think is the best figure. I think, as far as picking a favorite, out of these 3, I think Lance is probably my favorite character, but I think Shiro is the best figure. As far as characters that haven't been released yet, I'm excited to get Hunk because I think he's hilarious, and obviously Pidge is pretty cool too. It'll be neat to have a full set of 5 as well. And then I hope they make like an Allura and Karan, and like I said, all the villains, Hagar, Lotor, Zarkon. Hopefully these sell well enough that they'll continue to make some more. But as far as I know, this is the last of what's available right now. I hope at least Pidge and Hunk come out so we can at least complete our team. But from what I understand, this is everything that's out right now. So I am caught up on Voltron figure reviews for right now. Hopefully, like I said, we get the rest fairly soon. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you guys, who's your favorite Paladin? Who do you think is the best figure? Are there any of these that you're, hoping to track down? Let me hear from you guys in the comments below. Please like and share the video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, that's going to do it for Lance and Shiro from the Voltron Legendary Defender action figure line. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching.